Hello everybody, welcome to Dackman Productions and welcome to Conrail. So we have another package here from Mr. Muffins. Now for this one I did not pre-order it only because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough funds left over to even afford it. So I didn't want to take that chance of pre-ordering it and then not being able to pay for it. I know Mr. Muffins has a layaway plan as well, but I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to afford that. This particular unit that he sent me is the one that's actually featured in a photo on his website, and he also featured it on his own video. So, shout out to Mr. Muffins. Mr. Muffins Trains has his own YouTube channel. Check him out. He does some nice live streams showing his wonderful layout, talking about different things that are coming in from Lionel. He does a nice job with it. For those who may not know, he made a surprising announcement. They got into HO Trains, so they have a website dedicated to HO Trains now. So they're doing that as well. So they're actually expanding here, which is really cool. And so, of course, you guys probably already know what I'm opening is going to be blue. Even though it's an orange box. And wow, this is a pretty big locomotive. I didn't think these were that big, unless it's all foam, but that's a pretty big box for what this is. Oh yeah, I guess they really beat these up, because I know back in the day they weren't packaged, they were packaged much smaller, but looks like they beefed up the packaging. So yeah. Oh boy. So gotta be careful here how we unpack this. Alright, so I'm not gonna make you watch the whole unboxing. I'm gonna get this out and I'll show it to you. So here we have it, the Lionel Conrail U28C. And the first thing I'm noticing is the color. I know a lot of people beat up Lionel over the color, but when it comes to Conrail, I mean, I really don't think Conrail had a real one steady color. You know, it seems like there was multiple shades of Conrail blue, especially when you look at photos at the end of the life of the locomotive itself. It's hard to find photos from the beginning. Now, the other part of that is you have to understand a lot of these locomotives were actually painted with a mop and a bucket of blue paint. That's for real. I'm not making that up. Those facts actually came out from a video called Mike's Commentary. And when he worked for Conrail, I believe he was a dispatcher, he found these 8mm tapes that he made, and they restored them into a DVD disc. And in one of those commentary videos, he does mention how they painted a lot of the locomotives with a mop and a bucket of blue paint, and they nicknamed them Rembrandts. So if they painted locomotives that way, did they really care to use the same paint color code? Probably not. And being as how they painted them that way, they probably faded really quickly too. But I found that very interesting. But I'm going to probably end up buying those DVDs because I want to see what else Mike had to say about Conrail back in the day. You know, it was pretty funny with the, little tidbits I did watch. But we're going to go ahead and get this on the track. And we're going to talk about this. This is cool. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but there is quite a bit of difference in the shades of blue between the U28C and the GP35. But yeah, there's quite a bit of a shade difference there. So most of you already know I'm not particularly a GE fan. I call these garbage electric. If you read the Lionel description about the GE U-boats, you would think, Lionel thought they were the best thing since sliced bread, but they weren't. Now, they got the nickname of U-boat because of the first letter designation, like U25, U28, U30. So they got the nickname of U-boats. Sort of look like a U-boat, too. Looking at this locomotive, it has this short little stubby nose on it there. You can see the Conrail name on there. The Conrail can opener logo. Mr. Muffins was wondering if that's what it's called. That's the nickname for it, can opener logo. But the logo actually has a meaning. Steel wheels on two rails. Now, there's some people that call these ugly and not big fans of them. But heck, let's give this thing a cool nickname so everybody will like it. So I dubbed the Snooter-Beast. So here before you is the Snooter-Beast. Cool name, huh? And I found once you give something a nickname or a name, people accept it more. Alright, so the Snooter-Beast is a GE U28C and was developed in 1966 and provided a 300 horsepower increase over the U25C. The U28C was built on a longer frame to allow space for a steam generator so it could be used for passenger service. However, only Santa Fe bought the U28CG passenger variant of this locomotive. The U28C was produced from February of 1966 to November of 1966, and only 71 were made. These were not very popular. The U28C featured a GE FDL-16 prime mover that was a 16-cylinder 4-stroke engine. The Conrail U28Cs were formerly all Pennsylvania Railroad locomotives. Pennsylvania had bought 15 of these. Here you can see a black and white photo of Pennsylvania number 6530. Okay, so I know you guys like to learn something new from me. So who can tell me the difference between a U28B and a U28C? Anybody out there? Without using Google? Well, I'll just tell you. The B model was a 4-axle locomotive and the C model was a 6-axle locomotive. Much like with EMD, the GP series were 4-axle locomotives and the SDs were 6-axle locomotives. So how well did Lionel do compared to the real number 6530? Well, I'm going to have to give them a B-. I'm going to point out different things that they missed. Okay, before I begin, I know people are going to say I'm nitpicking. I'm just comparing this locomotive to the real thing. But I'm just being honest and straightforward with this review. In comparison to the real thing, I'm just pointing out what was missed. And it is a simple, easy fix. Okay, so where did Lionel go wrong with this? Okay, so these grills here, the upper grill and these two small grills are supposed to be black. Moving along to the rear, same thing, this grill, these two grills. So there are details that should have been black and they are not. Do I think this is a cool locomotive? Yeah. And this is something that I can do myself on my own. I can take a little brush and paint all these details that I pointed out black the way they should be. Now back here is where you're going to find your switches. What's nice is that they're on a magnet now. So all your switches are back there on top instead of fumbling underneath like they used to do back in the day. That was just a pain. I'm glad that Lionel is putting everything up in there. Okay, we're going to get this programmed. And I'm going to put together a train for you guys. And I've already decided on what that's going to be, but I'll reveal that here in a moment. So the train that I picked out for the Snooter-Beast is based on some viewers that have actually come up and told me that they become Cargill fans because of the Cargill trains that I show. And one thing I noticed is you're either a Cargill person or an ADM person. You're not both. At least I haven't met someone who likes both. Anyway, it's like a Ford person and a Chevy person. They're not going to like both. At least that's what I found. But at any rate, glad to know that there's fans out there that enjoy my Cargill trains as well. So guess what? I got a 2-for-1 deal for you. The Snooter-Beast is going to be put on a Cargill local. So you're going to like this one. So let's go.
This is the dispatcher. Please start up. Hold for track orders. Over. Yes, sir. Start up and stand by. Out. Dispatcher, am I cleared to the outbound? Over. Hold for signal indication. Dispatcher out. Got a lot of tonnage today. Better bunch in some slack before we start out. Air test is good. Ready to roll. Got a lot of tonnage today. Better bunch in some slack before we start out. Magic 8, Magina. Clear by Valley Car Link. Right, Patty? Plenty of room. Train orders say hold the siding until 44 clears. Then we can take the main. He should be through any minute. Let me know as soon as 724 gets by. We ought to have a little time to do something. All right, we'll call you right behind 1124 then. Dispatcher, am I cleared to the outbound? Over. You're cleared outbound. Dispatcher out.
Alright, so I'd like to thank the viewers for the support of this channel. We'll catch you at the next training show, next event. We'll catch you trackside. Goodbye.